Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And for this movie review, this time I'm reviewing a Steven Seagal film, and it's definitely one of my favorites. This one's very close to being one of my favorite Steven Seagal film, but it's not. So it's a very close second because just really quick, that my favorite Steven Seagal film is Under Siege 2, Dark Territory. That was the film that I saw. Well, I saw that film first before I even watched the first one, but that was a film that introduced me to Steven Seagal. So yeah, growing up, me and my brother, it's me and my brother is one of our all-time favorite action films of all time. Grew up, we watched the film over and over together. That's why it's my favorite Steven Seagal film, Under Siege 2, Dark Territory, and I'll review that film some other time, including the first one, of course. But the review on this one is Out for Justice. Now, this one I would say it's extremely close to being my number one, though. But considering the fact for Under Siege 2, this is a very close second, though. If I ever did one day, I'll have to do there's a lot of films I want to do a top 5 of my favorite whoever, like Steven Seagal or Jean-Claude Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger, or Sylvester Stallone and stuff like that. But one day I'll get through all those, though. But right now, this doesn't want to take. Don't want to take the time right now, though. But one day we'll do them. But for now, for this one, it's my second favorite Steven Seagal film, Out for Justice. Released in the year 1991, the year I was born. Good film to come out during the year I was born. 1991. The film, of course, met with negative reviews, obviously. This film does have a 6.0 on IMDb, though, but I would give it much more higher. But on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 19% Rotten Tomatoes, which I completely disagree with. I definitely give this a lot more higher rating, like in the 80s somewhere, just to be fair. I don't see why this film is why it's 19. I don't see why this film is worth 19% Rotten Tomatoes. I just don't see that at all. But I love this movie. It's definitely a classic action film. And it's directed by Joe Flynn. Before he did this, he did another good film in 1989, Lockup, with Sylvester Stallone, starring Donald Sutherland and Tom Sizemore. I enjoy Lockup too. So after he did Lockup, he did this film with Steven Seagal, and then he did a science fiction film called Brain Scan, I think it was, starred Frank Langella and Edward Furlong, which I have not seen, so I can't judge on that film. But he directed that film, though. But Brain Scan, I haven't seen it. But I enjoy Lockup. But this one, I enjoy this film a lot more. But Lockup is a very good, I would even say underrated Stallone movie as well. But Out for Justice, and the film did modestly well with $39 million worldwide on a minimum budget of 14, so it did modestly well. And even Steven Seagal helped produce this film. He's produced on a lot of his films, so. And also, I like the cast as well, especially not only that Steven Seagal he kicks ass in this film. He absolutely does. This is definitely shows one of my favorite fights in Steven Seagal movies. He kicks a lot of ass in this film, and William Forsythe, he played a great bad guy. It's definitely my favorite role for William Forsythe. He's been in all the films as well, including Michael Bay's The Rock. But he's been in other movies though. But it's definitely my favorite role for William Forsythe, and he played a fantastic bad guy. And one thing I quickly want to mention, the inside of here, when I mentioned Under Siege 2, it's funny that this image right here is Steven Seagal. That is directly from Under Siege 2, so Yeah, this film, the Under Siege 2 came out years after this film, and yet they put an image of him from Under Siege 2, because I know is how the way he looks and the clothes that he's wearing in Under Siege 2. That's funny how they put his image right there into a film that hasn't came out years after Out for Justice. I just find that funny. They just put an image of him right there from Under Siege 2 into a cover of this film that came out years after this film. I thought that was kind of funny though, but a picture error basically. But and it basically is that he's a cop. He plays a cop in New York, and I thought that was also a pretty good tagline. It says he's a cop. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to take out the garbage. And it opens up with him and his partner Bobby, and they're on this watch for this it's a drug bust, but there's also this pimp, and this wearing this fancy wearing red shirt and stuff, and which that guy who plays the pimp, I've seen it before. Face wide, I've seen him before, but I couldn't place him first. But I remember he was in Dude, Where's My Car with Ashton Kutcher. He was the guy who was the character name of Mr. Pizza Coley. I mispronounced the name of, but I thought at first I didn't recognize him. I was like, oh, that's him from Dude, Where's My Car. So yeah, another familiar face right there though, but. At first, I was like, "Oh, is that's him from Dude, Where's My Car?" I was like, "Oh, okay." But he's this pimp, and he's beating up on this woman, and he said that she said that she was pregnant, and he's like beating her, and then Steven Seagal moves in, and which another thing that he talks people make fun of, so I say people would make fun of though, but I don't think anything wrong with it. And so you see, he's like talking like he has like a New York accent, It's like, you like to pick on fucking women, huh? Beat up on me, asshole. I don't see how that's a problem. I thought he played with a New York accent just fine. I don't see how that's a problem though, but people would say he talks silly with an accent, but. It's a New York. He's a cop and he's in New York. I thought he talked fine with it, but I thought some people would give it a problem. But I don't see how it's like. But he's talking with he's like it's like, you like to beat up on fucking women, do you? Huh? Beat up on me, asshole. And the pimp says, oh, that's right. That's why, you stupid motherfucker. I know where the fuck you live. I will fuck your wife and your kids. And he just goes and then Steven Seagal grabs him by his tie and just throws him around and then he says, Gina, you son of a bitch. And Steven Seagal just he hurls the guy, does like this and just throws him right back into this to the car windshield, So first he throws him around, and he just sends him flying right to the windshield. And then you have that, which I thought was a film of it. I say is a really pretty good score by a David Michael Frank. So just as soon as it shows the title, you're like, down, 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 down. I thought that I enjoy the score as well, and also the song that was playing later in the film called "No Sleep in Brooklyn." No Sleep Till Brooklyn. I thought I liked that song as well. That played on later on in the film. But David Michael Frank, I just want to look up any other scores he's looked up. And it doesn't say much. Well, it's Wikipedia. You can't trust Wikipedia nowadays. But I thought the score by David Michael Frank, I thought he did a pretty good job with the score. And then it shows introduced to William Forsythe's character named Richie. And he's a guy that he grew up with Steven Seagal's character named Gino and Bobby. So, but he shows up. Bobby's taking his wife and his kids to this market, and then Richie comes up and just shoots Bobby a lot of times and gives him a picture. and shoots him again for one more measure. And then, just when Steven Seagal, Gino, call him Gino, was about to have this go out with this place to throw a baseball with his kid. They'll wait until he gets the call that his Bobby got shot, and he really gets upset because it was his best friend as well. And he told him that the chief, who is that's another guy that I've seen before. Let's see what other films he's been in. Played by Jerry Orbach. Orbach, I think his name was. He was in Universal Soldier, and he was in the voice in Beauty and the Beast as well as L'Amour. I believe that he was the candle in the Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, that was him. I was at the middle to make sure because Beauty and the Beast. I can't remember what the names of the clock and the candle. Yeah, but he voiced Jerry Orbach, how mispronounced his last name. He voices the candle in Beauty and the Beast, and as well starring in Universal Soldier. So he plays the chief or the chief of police, I think his name was. But he tells Gino that it was Richie who did it, and he gets into the call because after he shot Bobby, Richie, William Forsythe, he gets pissed at this woman. It's like, oh, can you move your car? And he just steps out and just blows her brains out, just right then and there. Not even, he doesn't even care. He's like, he doesn't care. He just steps out of the car. Just, it's like, oh, you think I'm an asshole, huh? And then just goes and blows her brains out right then and there. He's a guy that you just don't want to piss off. Otherwise, he'll just shoot you dead in your tracks. I thought William Forsythe, I think that he plays such a great bad guy, which is him right there at the bottom of the picture. Bad guy, definitely a bad guy. You definitely want to hate, but at the same time, I think he did a fantastic job as Richie. But Richie, Gino, he says he's the one to find this guy because he grew up with him and he knows the neighborhood better. Tells his wife, well, he's gonna soon to be divorced too. But and as he's driving around looking for him, there's this woman prostitute's like, hey, you wanna fuck? And then she starts laughing. He's like, and he says to the other people's like, did you hear what she said? Or in instance where there's this car in front of him has this bumper sticker on his car that says "Kill 'em all, let God sort 'em out," and he throws a bag out of his window and he stops and it's a little puppy, it's a little German Shepherd puppy. He just threw it out and he says, "Please God, let me run to this guy someday." Very cute puppy, and it's always upsetting when someone would just goes and throws a dog out on the street to get run over. So he takes the puppy, and then later he finds Richie and some other his men, and I thought it was a pretty good car chase as well, as they're just driving down the streets, and even though when Steven Seagal's car is like bouncing up and down, he's like driving on these it's not speed bumps, but on these things, I guess that's like under a bridge, I think, and he's just driving it, still his car is bouncing up and down. I thought it was a pretty good, very good car chase, and Richie's getting all pissed, and he's like, well, one of the guys says, hey, you want to drive this fucking car, Joey? And Richie's like, shut the fuck up, you hear me? Huh? Shut the fuck up. I think it's also one of the times when I think this is like one of the movies that I've seen that says the F word a whole bunch of times. It's definitely one of the movies that I've seen well, I'm sure there's other movies though, but for movies that I have seen, this is definitely one of the ones that has this is like the F word like about, I would say like about like a 200 times I would say. Um, and then it leads to this, what I thought was another very good fight in this meat market. I thought it was another very well done fight scene, and he comes into the meat market. Well, Richie he sneaks away while he gets into this fight. Like he gets a fight where one guy comes up with a cleaver and he just goes and puts right here right into this guy's leg, and then he gets with another guy. He takes the cleaver out of the guy's leg and puts it right into the guy's hand. Like his hand's right here, just right there and right into the guy's hand. It's like, oh. And then one other guy who has a bat, he takes his bat and just goes and whacks him in the face with it. And then gets another guy with a bat, hits him with it. Or another guy, he has the guy like in an arm lock, and he's telling something. Richie's a bad guy. My friends don't like him. Your friends don't like him. You know what I'm saying? You're hanging out with the wrong kind of people, and just beats him with I think it was a rack of salami. I think he says like you're hanging out with the wrong kind of people, and just beats him in the head with a piece of salami. I think it was like a ham, or it was like a liverwurst or something, or I'm pretty sure it was a piece of salami. And then the one that the clerk pulls out a gun and says, "What do you want to shoot me for, huh?" And just flexes his hand like this, and it says, "Don't be a bad guy. Be a nice guy." So the car chase before was, I thought it was a good car chase, and then the fight in the meat market was a very well done fight scene. Just takes the cleaver, puts in one guy's leg, and just jams right into the guy's hand. Beats a couple of the guys with a baseball bat, and beats the other guy with a rack of salami, I think it was. So, and then it leads to another thing where which was another excellent by far it's definitely one of the best fights that I've seen for a Steven Seagal film. It's definitely one of my favorites. He goes into this pool room, and he's asking her, like, "Has anybody seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby LeBeau?" I just like that line when he says, "Hey, has anybody seen Richie? Anyone why Richie did Bobby LeBeau?" And people was like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, fuck off," and stuff like that. And or a guy was sitting on a stool, won't let him pass, and he just kicks the stool right from under the guy, makes him fall down. And he wants to, because this place has been run by Richie's brother named Vinny, and he says, "I want to talk to your brother." And he says he tells to Vinny, he's like, "Well, you were still sucking your thumbs while Richie was out sucking dicks." And I show why? Because he's a fucking chicken shit pussy asshole. A lot of Steven Seagal's I thought, which was so funny and hilarious, but at the same time he's serious at the same time. So yeah, he tells that to Vinny. I'm just cracking up laughing though. And it leads to another thing where it's like thing where he's one guy is giving him crap because he's a cop. He's nothing without that badge and the gun. He's like, "Oh, you say so? This is my gun. This is my gun right here, and this badge. This is your trophy. This is your trophy." So, and then I thought this was it's a good fight because but yeah, a very painful one because he takes a pool cue, the cue ball. Wraps it up in a piece of cloth so he can like whirl it around. This one guy with tattoos on both his arms, and he just goes and whacks the guy right in the freaking mouth, and you see him spit out his teeth. And the guy's like, "Motherfucker, you knocked my teeth out!" And then he just hits him right in the forehead as well. So yeah, that's like, oh, that little part right there made me cringe because right in the teeth, and just makes him just spit his teeth out. That was a bit of a cringe-worthy scene for me because you know how hard a freaking pool cue is. I'm sure, I know people already know, but I'm just saying, though, a pool cue is just a freaking hard thing to get hit with. Especially if you get hit in the mouth, you're bound to lose some teeth. And that guy just did because he was spitting out like 4 of them out. Motherfucker, you knocked my teeth out! And just gets hit in the head right here, the forehead. And then get this other guy named Sticks. He has his sticks, and another good fight because he has a pool stick cut in half, and he's like, they're just doing this, and he's like flipping people over, or one guy gets on top of the pool table and gives him good punch right in the crotch. That was definitely one of the favorite fight scenes for Steven Seagal, especially with the pool cue and the pool sticks and flipping people over, especially ways of the lines he's saying as well. So sorry for the cut right there. Something happened, so I had to start this cut off over. So sorry for that. But as I was saying though, after he beats up all the guys and he says he wants to talk to he's talking to his brother again. He's like, Benny, I want to talk to your brother again, and he says, he doesn't want to talk to you, you self scumbag, and he says, you tell your brother I'm going to cuff his head and piss down his throat, and slams his head against the bar, and he leaves, he's like, I'm going to keep on coming back till somebody remembers seeing Richie. So well, the next day, well, he goes to visit Richie's parents, and he tells about what happened when how he killed Bobby and another person, but they have nothing to say. But he says they don't want him to kill his son. So the father says, what could I do apart from possibly killing my son? And he says, tell your son to get a lawyer and have him turn himself in. If not, I'm going to kill him. So then then something happened with another one thing, at least another, is that he goes and visits Richie's sister, who owns this club, another club, and he's trying to get information out of her, which is actually the who plays Richie's sister. Where's the name? Is that Gina Gershon? Gershon? She's been she's been in other films as well. She was in Face Off. That's what it was. She was in Face Off, and of course, starring in Showgirls as well, which that was not good though. But she's been in other films like Face Off, Showgirls. But if anyone knows her in Showgirls, but but I recognize her as well. So she plays Richie's sister, and he goes and takes her, arrests her because she finds a firearm and says, you're under arrest. And another instance where he goes and searches through Bobby's desk, and he finds some pictures of Bobby having sex with his woman, and which you find out though because he asks Richie's sister and say who this is, and even her, I guess, another talk with her father as well. But and she even talks to this other woman that was also working at the club, and that she knew who the woman in the picture was, and that turns out that woman in the picture was Richie's girlfriend. So that's why Richie shot Bobby because of that, and he was also working having sex with the other girl that was working, the short blonde woman as well. And then Steven Seagal he goes and finds the woman dead, that Richie killed her before he killed Bobby, and then back with shows Richie, they were hiding out at this place, and he shoots this guy in the wheelchair because the police came in. He's like, I'm gonna put you out of your misery. And then another instance with he talks with this mob. I forget. It was a mob boss. Wasn't it Frankie and Don Vigorito? I think the last name was. He has a talk with them, and what was that? Was the next scene right here? But yeah, he goes and talks with Bobby's wife, because the picture after when Richie shot Bobby, he threw that picture on top of him. But when Gino got there was no picture, so his wife took it. He kept it, and he knew about it. And he said that she knew that Bobby was dirty, that he liked his lifestyle, his money. So, but she said that she took it though, because she was trying to save her marriage though. But she kept it anyway, even though she knew what Bobby was into. And then after I go back with Richie, he goes and sees his brother, and which he shows that he hates his brother, because he shows what a wimp he is, because he couldn't handle Gino, and it's like, you're like, one motherfucker, take on all of you, whatever, and there's more members of the mob members that come to see them, and he wants Vinny to shoot them, but he goes and knocks him in the face after he says no. He says, don't let me ever see you again, Vinny. And when the guys come down, they shoot them. And then when he goes to this another I guess to say his new girlfriend named where is it Rika, which is actually played by Julianna Margulies. I mispronounced her last name. This was her first film. I remember her because she was in Snakes on a Plane, and as the lead stewardess on the plane. I forget her character's name though, but she was in Snakes on a Plane, and she was also in Ghost Ship as well, the 2002 film Ghost Ship. So yeah, and he says he wants to have a party, and oh, I forgot, I skipped over one scene. There was this where he sent more men to Gino's place, to his apartment, with his wife and his son, and another good shootout where he goes and shoots more men dead, grabs a shotgun and shoots one guy through the window, or another instance where he himself go through a glass door window, and he goes, when he landed on the bed, he just goes picks up the guy and just shoots the guy right in the neck. And then one of the guys though who was with Richie, he says, you gonna shoot an unarmed man, Gino? He says, nah. You know what I'm gonna do? He goes and shoves the guy right through the window and off the balcony and falls to his death. So I skipped over that scene though, but going back to he says he's gonna have a party, and he has a couple more guys, and he's gonna find hookers and stuff, and Gino gets information from this one kid that he knows, and he heads there, and he has the shotgun with him, and it shows that one bad guy had like a gun through the table, and he gets shot right here, and he starts shooting bad guys, and or another instance where I thought it was I guess somewhat it was bloody at times, but this is one scene that I thought was that was actually a very cool one, because I think one of Richie's main henchmen is that Gino, he goes and he shoots the guy right in his leg, and it blows off, like it's below his knee, the guy's leg from below his knee down. Shoots it completely right off his foot and part of his other part of his leg. Blows it completely right off. He's like, oh no no. That was a pretty cool brutal scene right there. She goes and shoots that guy's whole foot off, or well, a little bit of his leg off as well, but. And then he goes and kills the other guy that he knocked his teeth out with the pool cue. He's like, "Fuck you, Cobb," and kicks him, hits his head against the brick wall, and kills him. And then this is where definitely where he fights him. He fights Richie. He just goes and well, if it's he's like, "What you gonna do, huh? We gonna arrest me? Huh? We gonna arrest me? I'm out of bullets." And he says, "That's a shame because those bullets could have saved you a lot of pain." It's like, oh, I like pain, you know. And for this fight, he just goes and beats the living shit out of William Forsythe. He just goes and kicks the shit out of him left and right. He's like just punching him, throwing him. I thought it's a very good fight, but yet hilarious fight. He's just going and beating the shit out of him. You know, his face is getting all bloodied up, and William Forsythe, he's grabbing like a knife or I think it was like it looked like a rolling pin. I think it was, and then a frying pan. He just goes taking all the stuff and just gets banging him his head and pan gets the pan or this rolling pin. I think it was, and also hurting him through a window. It's like I'm just laughing because he's just beating the shit out of William Forsythe. And then the final thing is that he tries to get him with a corkscrew, but he takes the corkscrew and stabs him right in the head. Says that's for Bobby. The fight scenes I thought was very well done. I love the fight in the pool room and when he's shooting the shotgun, some very bloody scenes, especially when he blows that guy's foot off, and then him beating the shit out of William Forsythe. And then by the end he's talking with his wife, still holding the puppy, and then he meets the guy who threw the puppy out the window by his the bumper sticker on his car, kill him all like God, sort him out. He says, "Yo, fuck nuts. You talking to me? You wouldn't have to be the guy who threw a puppy out of the window of this car the other day. And what's it to you? Because I'm an animal lover, you know." Animal lover. Look, asshole, as you come and talk to me like that, and I'll stuff you in a fucking bag and I'll throw you out the fucking window. And then he's like, "You tough guy? Tough guy? Yeah, I'll show you how fucking tough I am." And then he goes and turns around and kicks him right in the balls. And then the dog walks up to him and goes and pisses on him. Even though you don't see the dog really piss on him, you just hear a pissing sound effect though. But still, you get the idea though. And then Gina goes and says, "Oh, Vic, look at here. Is that a police dog or what?" So I love this movie. It's definitely a Steven Seagal favorite of mine. It would have been number one though, but with me getting introduced to Steven Seagal while watching Under Siege 2, watching as a kid and loving that movie, especially growing up watching with me and my brother. We watched that over and over again. It's definitely one of our favorite action films of all time. But one day I will review Under Siege 2, including the first one though, some other time though. But this is a very close second though. I love Out for Justice. It's definitely a classic. Well, it's a classic action film, but this is one of those films I've always enjoyed. Steven Seagal's early movies when he first started with his first film Above the Law, and all the way to the films he started through the 90s, late 80s, and then through the 90s. I've always enjoyed his movies until he started making all those directed DVD movies. But Steven Seagal, as a 90s action star, I've always enjoyed him. And it's definitely one of his best films, Out for Justice. Above the Law, Marked for Death, Hard to Kill, Exit Wounds, this film, On Deadly Ground, which, as an action film, I enjoy it, but the whole, him doing the environmental stuff, though, that can be left out, though. But As an action film, I enjoy Out for On Deadly Ground, The Glimmer Man, Fire Down Below, which that film flopped sadly though, but Half Past Dead, I'm like on it, but well, he appeared in the he was a shitty bad guy in Machete. Especially especially the lame fight they had with Danny Trejo. I don't like Machete, but he was a lame villain in that film, and especially with the shitty fight with him. But his films through the late '80s and then throughout the '90s were his best work. But I love this film, and it's definitely a classic action film. There's no features on this film, sadly. It's just this is a trailer, I think it is, just and that's it. But Out for Justice is a classic action film. This person from the Sacramento Union, pure adrenaline pumping, jaw dropping thrills. I would say that. Steven Seagal, I thought he did a great job. And people say that they had problems with his doing a New York accent. I had no problem with it. I think it didn't bother me. William Forsythe, I thought he played a fantastic bad guy. Definitely a villain you want to hate. But I like when he gets his comeuppance and just getting the shit kicked out of him by Steven Seagal, just beating him to death. Other the cast members, I thought they did fine as well. And the score I enjoy. The score I enjoyed. The song No Sleep Till Brooklyn I liked. Directed by Joe Flynn. I enjoy Lock Up, and so is this. As does I enjoy this film. But 19% Rotten Tomatoes. I definitely disagree with this. I would give this a lot much higher rating. Same with IMDb. Even though 6.0, it could be a lot more higher as well. So I don't know more I could say about it. Out for Justice, I love this movie. It's definitely a classic, and Steven Seagal, I thought he did such a great job, and Under Siege 2, one day I'll review because it's my favorite Steven Seagal film, though. But this is an extremely close second. So that's more I can say. Anyway, that's my review for Out for Justice. Has anyone seen Richie? Anyone know why Richie did Bobby LeBeau? That's a line that never gets tiring to say. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.